Okay guys, today is going to be part 3 and the finale of the BK surge protection videos, and I'm going to go over the assembly of the surge protector and give a final diagram and parts list, and just a few helpful hints on the assembly. To start off with, I wanted to go back and one more time reaffirm our situation. We're in this situation because of these two components right here. These are the TVS diodes, and this is a perfect example. Just last week, I got yet another call in for dead radio not turning on. Check the fuse, it's popped. Of course, it'll pop the fuse immediately because these two are, one or these or both are shorted. And if you look at them closely, you can see the heat fatigue on them. And the one thing I didn't mention in the last video that was really important, I just totally spaced on, was about the different voltages that are required to do the same amps. So if I have 3 volts to get 3 amps as opposed to 1 volt to get 3 amps, that power is current times voltage. So that's the difference between 3 watts and 9 watts. So that's where it really comes to play, is that you need to dissipate a lot more heat across these kind of devices than you would your typical, your big Herkin diodes here. So that's what got us into this situation. So the remedy is to put the big Herkin diodes and the power diodes on the outside of the radio, so we don't have these components here getting exposed to the either the reverse battery or the over voltage from something like an alternator. And also wanted to say that I didn't specify in the previous 2 videos that if you put a full 12 volts of reverse voltage across these, they will pop the fuse and fairly quickly as designed. But I went through all the trouble of showing how a backwards jump start is not a full reversal, and that the full reversal is almost unheard of because you literally you can't get the batteries cables backwards on most cars. They're physically not long enough. So anyway, wanted to go through this and show you what I came up with. This is the finished product for the transceiver part, and here's a look at all the parts that go with it. And you're going to need some strippers and some Molex crimpers. You'll need some silicone. Here's a look at the control head one and the parts, and this is the finished product for it. And what I wanted to show you was you see the diodes here, and I got the little Bakelite things to put them together. This is what it turns out looking like. And it's just a little package, just like I said, just a little physical package to keep them together and snug. And then what I do is I take the silicone and fill it all up with silicone, lay the conductor, the ground conductor that goes in between, and then I slide on the heat shrink and shrink it up. And that's the end product is this little module here, and it's tough and pretty much impervious to water and anything like that, so it should last the life of the vehicle. I also wanted to give note to people who didn't want to go through all this the expense. I've got this down to about $30 or $40 per vehicle to do it the super fancy way with the connectors and stuff. If you were on a really low budget and you didn't have the money to buy the new connectors and everything, you could just go, and I'll put the diagram on, go with just the simple diode package like this, and then hook it up straight to the straight to the output of the fuse going to your radio or your control head, and then just ground the black wire here at the other end, and that'll give you the same protection, just you won't have the convenience of having the fuse holder and everything up front. But yeah, so keep that in mind if you want to you know, go the cheap way. And that would just be the price of the diodes, which are they're about $250, $280 a piece, something like that. I found DigiKey is the definitely the best source of getting the parts, although there seemed to be a real shortage on one of the on this end here, the female Japanese solderless terminal side. They were just completely out, so I had to alternate source that, and that cost a little bit more than I wanted. But anyway, here's the assembly, and it goes together pretty quick. It's really not that hard. Let me go ahead and pause here and pull up the final two diagrams and make a couple notes about that. Okay, guys, back at the schematic here. I did do a update on the drawing on the symbols here to correctly demonstrate that these are the CA TVS diodes are bidirectional, so you get the same effect from either direction. And I did that very specifically so it wouldn't come in, the rectifier portion of it would not come into play at all. It would solely be the job of the Schottky diode to do that, because I already have the other two TVS diode, the unidirectional TVS diodes and the radio that are going to be in parallel with the Schottky as well, so I didn't want to have any more to that. The other thing is on the part number here for these TVS diodes. When I went to DigiKey to order them, found the alternative part number was the same part number with the TP, and the TP just stands for automotive quality. So they're actually like an extra 20 cents a piece for the diode. So I figured, hey, might as well spend the 20 cents a piece and get the quality ones. That's got, now has the TP in front of it. I was able to get everything at DigiKey except the female Japan solderless terminals connector here, and then the pins for this one here. They had 1,000 plus of the connectors, but no pins, and then 1,000 plus pins for the other style connector. So I ended up having to go to PowerWorks to get the other gender connectors here. But if you could get everything from DigiKey, you'd cut it down to quite the cheap. I was basically able to get it to, I'm going to guesstimate about $30 to $35 per radio, assuming you got both a transceiver and a control head. It'd obviously be half that price if it was just the transceiver. But I realize that a lot of people are not going to go through the trouble of doing the Molex connectors. So a cheaper alternative to doing the Molex connectors would be to just put together the diode packages and go ahead and butt splice them up here at your main, where your main fuse connector is here. Put a new butt splice and add this package on, and then take it back to the battery or the ground. And this will still give you that protection going to the radio unit. And the same thing for the control head. Once again, just if you just wanted to do a diode package and get in here and crimp and ground the connectors. I'm guessing I'm probably going to do a fair amount of vehicles this way, and do the fancy Molex ones on the others, depending on the physical setup of them. But I like the fancy ones here simply because they're so you can just go snap them in and be done with it, and you don't have to do any work at the vehicle itself. So, and it gives you that that super convenience of having the fuse holder right there at the equipment, so that you don't have to go ripping up the vehicle trying to chase down a power cable. So, okay, well that's the end of it, and like I said, I went through all the testing here, and I think this will be the solution to prevent any damage at the radio or control head. So hope this helps, and we'll talk to you soon.